Yo, what's up, YouTube? It's your boy Dre, representing for Drool Monsters TCG. And remember, that's Dual Monsters, not Drool Monsters. So I know it's been a minute since we hit y'all with a deck profile, but just know that we've been cooking up in the lab, testing at locals and online, so you know we got that fire profile for you today. And I personally am super excited to bring it to you. And for that fire today, we got ourselves some updated Cyber Dragons, y'all.
Boom shakalaka, boom shakalaka, boom.
Dimension Force gave us amazing support in the Therion's cards, took the deck to a completely whole new level.
I'm on a new level. I'm on a new level. I'm on a new level. Bought me a new shell. Put niggas in the dirt.
We've got board presence, multiple negates, battle protection, and recursion on top of OTKing the hell out of our opponents. Man, what more could you ask for in a Cyber Dragon deck?
Booyah!
I've personally gotten second and third place at my locals with this build. The deck is pretty strong and can contend with a lot of varying things in the meta. So let me know in the comments if you guys would like to see a replay video involving this deck right here. But enough with the nitty gritty, let's be about it and show you guys what makes Cyber Dragon Therion so great. Alrighty, so here we are at the deck profile portion of the video. Super quickly before we begin, I just wanted to give a quick shout out to my buddy Dan for hooking me up with this super cool field center and this token. Just bring the token into the light. Who doesn't love a good meme every now and again, you know what I mean? The quality of these came out like super good. So if you want to get your own, then most definitely hit me up in the comments. Personal message me, and we can see if we can get you your own personal drip going on here, because this man just makes quality stuff. Ooh. So let me just put that up to the top here. All right. So first off, we are starting it off. Wouldn't be a Cyber Dragon deck without some Cyber Dragons. We are able to get ourselves some alties there, so that is super nice. And yeah, machine dupe build, so 3 is needed, and needed for Galaxy Soldier combo. Not much really else to say about that super versatile monster. It's been around in the game for years, so you know we gotta respect it. Next up, we've got 3 Cyber Dragon Core. So Core will get you any of your Cyber Speller traps. It helps facilitate the 4 summon OTK. Summons a Cyber Dragon monster from the deck if we don't control any monsters and our opponent does. So that's super cool there. And just really great for extension, really great for setting up plays. Core is just the core of the deck. Next up, we've got triple Cyber Dragon Hers. Again, another machine dupe target. It recycles your Cyber Dragon monsters in the grave, which is super nice, or it'll bring you OG Cyber Dragon from your actual deck. And with these, it turns Rampage into a searcher, because you would use Rampage's effect to dump off machines, and then one of the machines you would dump off would be hers. The other one would be like the Noxter or the Core, whatever else you want to see in your hand. And then from there, hers would activate engrave, and you can take the second card that you dumped with hers and add that back to your hand. So that's really good there. And then we were at 3 before, but we decided to bring it down to 2 Noxter. I'm not comfortable with just 1. I know a lot of people do play 1 in just the whole conversation of Cyber Dragon, but I really feel like this is a super underrated card. Again, another machine dupe target. It's a monster reborn for any machine with 2100 attack or defense, so that's really super nice. The second one, you can grantedly side it. Like, there's nothing that says that you can't. And you can play with 1. I'm just personally more comfortable with 2. It's also a free special summon. If you discard a monster from your hand, it doesn't even have to be a machine. It can just be any monster. Discard, special summon. And fun fact, you don't get locked into machines with that. You get locked into machines with its Monster Reborn ability. But yeah, just keep that one in mind. It's a super easy monster to play with. And yeah, it's really great. And then we've got the 1 Cyber Dark Chimera. It's a one of, you don't really want to see, like, you can see it in your opening hand and it's not overly horrible, especially because it has 2,100 defense points. And me as a Cyber Dragon player, I was asking for a cyber monster that has 2,100 defense for so long, since Noxter has always said 2,100 attack or defense points. So you can special summon it, you can bring it out with the Cyber Dark Realm, which we'll also see in the deck portion later. And yeah, it's a beefy defense monster, so you could just like set it face down and then boom, they have to beat over 2,100. Not many things can. And even if you're not able to do the whole like 4 summon OTK searching power bond with this one, because that's also what it does. If you discard a spell or trap card, this will bring you power bond to your hand. So it's really cool there. But even if you're not able to facilitate that, if you have Realm out, it's a extra normal summon, so it's really good for link plays. And yeah, I think it's a really cool monster, so you'll find me with that one usually when I play Cyber Dragon these days. Also, we've dumbed it down to 2 Galaxy Soldier. So once again, it's the honorary Sidra. Gets you into your Nova, gets you into your Infinity or whatever level 5 that you want. I believe there's even a Chronomaly monster that you can summon off and then use that for this one. It can be chain blocked, and it's super searchable with the repair plant. And even at 2, in the lower numbers, you still can open in your opening hand. So I've been playing around with it at 2, and I don't overly mind it. So if I could play a 3rd one, I would, but we'll just see where testing comes out in that one. Next up, we have the new addition to the deck. We have 2 Therion King Regulus. Now, this I think is what really brought the deck into like a lot more power. It really is that boy. It is the king for a reason. It's a free special summon. The cost is just to target a machine in your grave. You necessarily don't have to summon it. So if they try and like crow it or anything like that, or remove your target, as long as you have successfully targeted the monster, it doesn't matter if you equip from grave or not. When this hits the field, you'll still get the monster. And it's an Omni Negate. It's a 2,800 body. It's recurable with the field spell. This plus Infinity is just, it's a great board. It's a super great board, and it makes Droplet better because you have something in the back row that's a monster that's just kind of floating there. It's not necessarily doing anything. So yeah, it's a free send for Droplet. Also with hers, it's super dope because then not only do you get the Omni Negate going, but you can also recur something from your graveyard. So you can bring back another copy of hers if you need it. You can bring back Core, you can bring back Noxter. It's super viable. Love it. And then we're still rocking the 1 Jizuku, the Star Destroying Kaiju. Again, not really much to say about this. If you know Cyber Dragon, if you've seen my videos, it's really good. Searchable, spot removal. It's easy to remove yourself with Contact Fusion or another card that we're playing in the extra deck that you'll see. Yeah, it even dodges destruction and search and sending effects because you have summoned using your opponent's monster and this one. So yeah, I will never play Cyber Dragon and not have Jizukiru, so I think it's really good. And that rounds out all of our machine monsters. As far as our hand traps go, we're on triple Ash Blossom. I would prefer to play it at 2, but just because Branded Fusion is going on like crazy right now, this checks Branded Fusion really well. So we definitely want to see this in our opening hand. So 3 for the win there. And then we've also got Drool and Lockbird. Drool and Lockbird is like a super powerful blowout card at this point in the meta right now. It ends turns by itself, so why wouldn't we have the boy here in our nice shiny gold version? So yeah, that rounds out our monster cards there. So let's go ahead and move into the spell and trap card portion. All right, so moving into our spell and trap portion of the deck profile, we're going to start off with the best spell in the whole deck, Cyber Emergency. So super great. It will search out any of your Cyber Dragon monsters. So the OG, the Noxter, the Hers, the Core, completely free with this one. Also, if it's negated by anything other than Ash, then you can go ahead, discard something from your hand, bring this card back, and then you can use it again. So really good, really powerful, best cyber spell ever. Never catch me without emergency. The rest of our cyber spells, we've actually put them down to 1-ups, mostly because I find that they're more 1.5s as opposed to emergency where you just activate it and you can go on about your day. These ones kind of require certain setup or conditions for you to be able to use them properly. So, and again, because we're in more of a hybrid build with the Therions, we're trying to minimize the bricking as much as we can. So for the first of our 1-up spells, we've got Cyber Dark Realm. The card's just a banger. I love it ever since I started playing it. Helps facilitate the 4 summon OTK. It's fodder for Droplet, and it's sideable with the whole OTK package in itself. So just in the position of where we are with the deck right now, we necessarily don't need to OTK our opponent to win, which is super nice. So it's just, it has really so many applications, and it's really a viable card. The next one, we've actually dumbed it down to 1 cyber repair plant. I wish I could play it at 2, but I did find there were some times where in the opening hand I had 2 of these and it wasn't really so much the most viable. Also, the reason why we dumbed it down is because you need Cyber Dragon in your graveyard to really make this card work. It's kind of like the cost. So no Cyber Dragon, this is a dead card. It doesn't do anything for us, which really sucks. But outside of that, if you do have the Cyber Dragon in your graveyard, it'll either bring back a light machine from your graveyard, or you can add a light machine from your deck to your hands. So it brings you Jizukiru, it brings you Galaxy Soldier. It's just a really great card. And if you have 3 or more Cyber Dragons in the graveyard, it'll do both effects in sequence. So really awesome there. And then the last one is kind of a flex spot, really. It could be anything. I kind of was coming in and out of Cyber Load Fusion or this one, but for this one, we've done Cyber Rev System. It's just kind of another Noxter in itself without really any of the nitty-gritty clauses where you need 2100 attack or defense. It'll bring back any Cyber Dragon from your graveyard, or it'll summon it from your hand, and the Cyber Dragon that you do summon with this card, it can be destroyed by card effects, so that's really nice, and it's sideable. So yeah, I think all 3 of these are super like toolboxy in themselves, and they can really net you wins, and you don't brick on them, or you don't get overclogged with them, with them being at 1-ups. So it's really nice. The next thing, it's actually the rest of the Therion package. So we're rocking 2 Therion Disc Coliseum. Disc Coliseum is super nice. It searches Regulus, it can bait an Ash, it gives battle protection, and it recurs the Therion King Regulus, so that is really good there. I love the card. I think we don't have our own field spell as a Cyber Dragon player, but I think that this definitely fills that spot. And then I would play 3 if I could, but since we don't want to brick on them so hard, we're playing the 1 terraforming. So you'll find that there are hands where you either have the terraforming in itself and it searches this. Terraforming can bait the Ash, which is really nice too. It can be used as a spell to discard for the Power Bond combo because maybe you already have Disc Coliseum and you're good with it. Yeah. And I just think really it's safer to play 2 Kings, 2 Disc Coliseum, and 1 Terraforming. And I think that that's the Therion package in itself as far as machines go. So that is really nice there. Also, like I said, we are playing a machine dupe variant. So what's a machine dupe variant without 3 machine duplication? I think this is one of my favorite cards in the deck. It's not a once per turn. You can discard it for the Power Bond combo. Like, it's really good. It's super good. Really, even in the fact of if your opponent tries to negate the Cyber Dragon monster that you're using the machine duplication on, so then you just end up summoning more copies of that monster. It's really nice because if you have multiple machine duplications in your hand, you can just go, hey, all right, so I'm gonna just use another machine duplication on the one you didn't negate. And thank you for more monsters. I will never say no to more monsters. Next up, we do have triple Forbidden Droplet. I know I can already hear the groans in my head looking at this, but this card just gets so much more powerful in this deck because you'll find that there's a lot of surplus cards just kind of floating around. The Cyber Dark Realm, the monster equipped with the Therion, the field spell. Yeah, there's just a lot of instances and a lot of times where you can use Droplet and not really lose any advantage from your hand, since Droplet says you can use cards from your hand or field for the cost of negating things. So yeah, Droplet in Cyber Dragon is a banger, and with the hers too, you can recur things. So great card. And then my probably second favorite card, Power Bond. Yeah, I've always wanted to make this card work in a deck, and I really feel like we're just in that point where Power Bond can work. Stupid searchable now. Again, if you don't even want to do the whole Power Bond thing at the time, or if like you're coming up against some heavy threats and you just need some good siding, the whole Power Bond package can just be removed, and then you can put in things from your sideboard. So that is super nice. And yeah, I would love me an ulti copy of this one day. That's the dream. And then rounding it off in our spell and traps, we have the Infinite Impermanence. We have 3 of these. Again, the honorary Cyber Dragon card, Infinity, is on the card art. It even got like the whole infinity symbol still going with the tail. The card's a banger. We are a going second deck, so a lot of times we will have nothing on the field, which means we can use this from our hand as a hand trap. It's really great. And if you just so happen to set it, it'll also shut off back row. So Imperm is just goated as hell. But yes, that would round it off for our Cyber Spell and Traps there. And then let's go ahead and move on to the extra deck. All right, and coming to the extra deck portion of the video, let's start it off with the best card, the ace of the deck, in my opinion. We have got 2 Cyber Dragon Infinity. It's a walking solemn judgment, removes threats because you can absorb monsters in attack position and put it on as material. So yeah, Infinity is my favorite card. You can see by the mat, you can see by my field center. It's my favorite card in Yu-Gi-Oh! The card is so great. I really wish it got anime representation because I think it would have been fire. Stupid fire. Oh man. And then we have Cyber Dragon Nova. We're also playing that as a 2 of. Just with in the position where we are in the deck now, Nova is just so much more powerful, and I feel like it deserves so much more respect. It boosts its own attack power. It summons Cyber Dragon from the graveyard. It gets us into Infinity, and if it just happens to be removed from the field by an opponent's card effect, then you can use it to summon a fusion monster. So yeah, like Nova is something that needs to be respected and feared. I've killed people with just Nova. I didn't even need Infinity. So like in its own right, Cyber Dragon Nova is a great card. And then also for the Machine XZs, we are rocking the 1 Divine Arsenal AA Zeus Sky Thunder. We are also able to get ourselves an ulti copy of this card, so that's super nice. Let me just bring that to the camera if y'all can. I don't know if the camera does this justice, but I love this card so much. Yeah, clears boards, it snaps off on threats. Yeah, just Zeus is something that deserves to be respected. And the best part about this card is it's not even once per turn. It's not once per chain. So not only can you use this multiple times in a turn, you can use this multiple times in a chain effect. So usually you can always still get the effect going off and your opponent's board will still get wiped. Granted, it'll remove everything on your side of the field too, but sometimes just because we have the core in the grave and we want to, if they happen to remove the Sky Thunder but their board is pretty weak after, then yeah, we can just bring everything back and then just start going on a tandem again. And then kind of the flex spot of the extra deck, Constellar Pleiades. So truthfully, Pleiades could be a lot of things. It could be the Chronomaly XZ's It could be another copy of these if you so choose to. It could be another copy of Zeus. It could be the Gaia Thundercharger. So you can make 6 material Zeus, but right now I'm doing Pleiades just because it actually beats a few cards in the meta. It'll beat Zombie World, which is really horrible for our deck, and it'll also beat out the Mirror Jade because it's not sending Mirror Jade to the grave, it's sending Mirror Jade to the hand, which would be back to the extra deck, and effects in the extra deck can't pop off because it's in the deck. So that's really nice. It's also Interruption because the bouncing thing is a quick effect, and it's a sideable card for the spice that we have in our side deck. So yeah, Pleiades is really good. Coming into our fusion monsters now, we have Rampage and Twin. So truthfully, Rampage will go ahead, it'll remove back row for you, which is really nice. Paired with hers, you can also use it to search out cards. So that's really good because Rampage requires you to send machines from your deck to the grave in order for you to get the extra attacks going. And you can send hers and the core, you can send hers and the Noxter, and it's really super good because once hers hits the grave, it affects will prop, and then you can go ahead and bounce back something from your graveyard back to your hand, which is really nice there. So I love Cyber Dragon, Chimera Tech Rampage Dragon, love it. And then Cyber Twin Dragon, this is just kind of if you want no muss, no fuss, just quick attacks. It'll actually end up stronger than Rampage on the Power Bond tip because I believe it'll get it to 56. And yeah, the effect doesn't activate, so it kind of beats out a lot of things that would just kind of screw you over there. So that's super nice. Twin for the win, that's why we call it that. And then we've got double Mega Fleet and double Fortress. So machines right now are super popular in the meta. So especially we're not the only people playing Therion King Regulus. So it's super nice when you can just special summon Cyber Dragon and then remove the Regulus with this. Like, goated. And then I noticed that there's a lot more links coming into the format again. We see the Dragon links, we see the Sky Striker players. So Chimera Tech Mega Fleet just really has jaws dropping because they just look at us just like, it's not a machine. And but you're just like, but it is in the extra monster zone. So I don't know what you want me to do. I ain't cheating you. That is what that is there. And then rounding off our extra deck here, we have one Cyber Dragon Seeger. Seeger is super good because it boosts attack in any battle phase as long as Seeger hasn't declared an attack. And paired with Nova, you can get it to 6,300. So that is super nice there. It also counts as Cyber Dragon on the field and in the graveyard, which is sometimes super important as well. You can bring it back with the rev system. And then we have the Honorary Cyber Dragon in Salamangreat Almirage. Almirage is really good just to dump the little guys into the grave, so then you can make your repair plant live, so that's really good. And then also in the spirit of making repair plant live, we have gone and we've tried one relinquished anima, and low-key sometimes relinquished anima just really helps break the board because sometimes they summoned in front of an extra monster zone, so you can just put anima in that zone, or you can put a monster in the zone yourself by using your kaiju and then putting it right in front of an extra monster zone. You summon anima, and now you have anima with 3,300 attack points. So that's really hard for a lot of people to get over. And yeah, it makes repair plant live. So relinquished anima really is goated. I've just started using it in the last month or so, and I've come to really love the card. But I don't know if the up arrow sometimes it'll get a little bit iffy, so this might become Link Karibo, or this can be Link Karibo. It really all depends on your playstyle and what you like to do, but I like absorbing monsters, and sometimes Infinity just ain't enough, so Anima really helps out there. But yeah, that would wrap out our extra deck there, and then let's move into the side. Alrighty, so moving into our side deck portion of the deck profile here, we're going to start off with one Cybernetic Overflow. This card is really amazing going first. It's searchable, so that's why we're really only playing the one, so you can bring it out with core. Removes things, it doesn't target, which is really nice. Can check multiple cards just because the way it works is you banish multiple Cyber Dragons from your hand, field, or graveyard of different levels, and then you can non-targeting pop anything on your opponent's side of the field. So really great there. Checks multiple threats. Yeah, Overflow is super goated in the side deck. Next up, we have Double Evenly Matched. So yeah, it kind of sucks because we have to sacrifice our battle phase for it. But the card wipes boards, it checks back row, it screws over token players because if they happen to have a token on the field and you play Evenly Matched, they have no choice, bottom line, but to get rid of everything except the token because tokens cannot be banished face down. So really messes up their game plan there. And you can now set up decent boards since we are playing the Therion King Regulus stuff. So you can have like Infinity, Regulus, Revs, Overflow, and boom, you're winning. And that is really hard for your opponent to get over. Next up, we have the one of Drool and Lockbird. So this is just, again, Drool is a super blowout card this format. So if the opponent thought that 2 was bad, try dealing with 3. So yeah, we just play this just to see more of Drool. We are also playing 2 Nib. It's Nib, self-explanatory. People always summon more than 5 times, especially in heavy combo decks. And it's a light, so it's really good for discards off a Galaxy Soldier. And it's a monster, so it's really good for discards for summoning Noxter. So yeah, Nib is really good. Plus we have to get use out of Leo here, right? Am I right? You already know. Look at my boy. Look at my boy holding the boys. Like, oh man, it's super, but yes, I love it. It's funny. And not a lot of people respect Nib either, so yeah, it catches people off guard sometimes. Even myself too, I've been victim of Nib once or twice, and I'm just like, that's 5, bruh, that's 5. Next up, we have another blowout card in the format, DD Crow. Really does good against Eldritch, really does good against branded stuff. Yeah, just if you need things out of the graveyard, then Crow is your man right there. So find me with Crow this format, most definitely. Next up, just because we hate back row, we have triple Cosmic Cyclone. I don't know if I want to make this Twin Twisters yet. We're still testing things out. They say Twin is better, but Eldritch is really, really powerful, so if we can just kind of screw over their game plan by banishing their stuff so it can't prop with effects, then by all means, we will do it. And then, once again, because we hate back row, we're playing 3 Lightning Storm. I play it mostly for the back row. If I can address the front row with it as well, that's perfectly fine. But mostly we're comfortable playing this because we are playing a going second deck. So usually, if not so powerful in things that aren't going second, but in our deck, this is really good. Super good. And then also, because we hate back row, 1 Nightmare Phoenix to round out the side deck there. It's great to remove things like the anti-spell fragrance, skill drain, that is what that is, but mostly anti-spell fragrance, or the goes in match or something stupid like that. Just whatever trap card is really like irking you, or whatever floodgate is really bothering you at the moment, sometimes Nightmare Phoenix can really just address that problem. So shout out my boy Marco for really helping me see the light with that one. But yeah. And sometimes you also need, because this is just pretty generic in its summonings, you just need 2 monsters with different names. And sometimes you need to, like I said, make Repair Plant live. Sometimes you need to get rid of the monsters that you have. Like maybe there's a Mystic Mine going on or something like that. So yeah, this just really helps like clear off the muddiness on your field, and then maybe help you advance into something a little bit better. But yes, that would be our side deck there. And then let's just move it into the end portion here. And there you have it, folks. That is how we do Cyber Dragon Therion. I think the deck is super great. Cyber Dragon remains being one of my favorite decks in this meta, and yeah, the direction that we're going and the support that we have and that we're getting in the future, really just Cyber Dragon just gets better and better. So I really hope that players take notice and they really watch out, because the deck that they keep saying is only good in rogue contention. It's coming for you. The age of Cyber is coming. So thank you so much again for peeping my deck profile here. Once again, my name is Dre, and thank you so much for tuning into Drool Monsters TCG. Appreciate y'all. Stay blessed out here.